Streaming cyberspace into your place tonight, YesterYear Racing, where past meets present, has invited a small group of drivers from 5 different oval series to leave the comfort of their race cars of choice to compete in equally prepared Cadillacs in a pseudo-recreation of the 1985 International Race of Champions. It's the 4th and final round, and we come to Thompson Speedway to decide which driver wins the crown and the champion's bottle of whiskey made by Garage Oil Spirits out of Lindyar, Texas. And you can watch all the action live as it happens right here on your sim racing broadcasting home, the Virtual Grip Network. A warm Nutmeg State hello and welcome on this Tuesday night, October 28th, 2025. Zach, Shaggy Chapman, Joy, it's yours truly, Bill Soups on high up in the VGM press box to bring you our Words Eye View replay. Ryan Seneca, well, he's turning the knobs and pushing the sliders. The series opened in February at a super speedway. June was the Mid-Ohio Road Course. Round 3 took place on the 1.5 miles at Atlanta a few months ago. Tonight, well, partner, most of these drivers are very familiar with short track racing, so they should feel right at home here at Thompson, except the car they are racing in, well, this machine is not traditionally associated with short track racing.
No, it is not indeed, Soup. I mean, these guys are going to be fighting this thing. I was talking to the point leader coming into tonight, JR. He came up, he got a new microphone he wanted to test out. He let me know, Soup, these first 3 to 5 laps, they are going to be a handful. Once the tires heat up, it'll be a little better, but he said corner entry, and as soon as you pick up that throttle center off, I mean, these Cadillacs, don't get me wrong, Soup, you know, everybody wants to drive around in one. They are fun, but these first couple laps, it is going to be like they're on a slip and slide out there. Not going to be a lot of help.
There's going to be a lot of strategy involved tonight. You want to go fast, but you also want to be thoughtful of how you do it. We're going to talk a little bit more of how that's going to play out. Right now, I want to introduce our special guest. We have Alan Wanamaker. Here's the series organizer. Alan, you happy the way this thing has played out for the first 3 rounds? It seems to me, I've enjoyed it. It seems like a very big success.
Thanks, Soup. I do think it's been a success. I mean, we haven't had a caution flag in any of the 3 races. Of course, the road race has local cautions, but it's been clean racing, good racing, and tight racing. So you can't ask much more than that from a series owner standpoint.
Indeed, and we're talking about no cautions because that could play really big in tonight, because they can't go all the way on the fuel that they got. They're going to have to make a stop. And maybe it's going to be a green flag stop. I sure hope they practice it. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the points, because we have no qualifying here. This grid is going to be inverted based on the standings you see right now. They take the point standings, they put the guys on top and the back. That's going to put J.R. Shepard, who's got that 5-point lead over Danger Josh Robinson. Now, there are bonus points. You get 5 points for leading the most laps. You get 3 points for leading the second, 2 points for leading the third amount of laps. Those bonus points are going to be used. The difference between the positions, well, it's a 3-point difference between first and second, 3 points between second and third, 2 between third and fourth and fifth, and then a single point all the way down. So finishing up high is going to be important, but also getting out in front, putting those laps in. We talked about fuel stops. We did not talk what's going on in tires. You get 3 sets, the ones that you have on the car, and then you have 2 extra sets in the pit lane. Not sure if you're going to be able to get that second pit stop in, maybe if the caution comes at a timely point. You know, Shaggy, with the field being so small, only 11 drivers, as they're not allowing replacement drivers for this race. If you do come in for a late pit stop, you're not going to lose a whole lot of track position with the field being so small.
No, and honestly, I'm looking at these lap times. I don't think anybody's losing enough lap time here on the longer run to even think about taking the tires. So the pit crew might be tired at the end of the night. They may just be doing fuel only, if that was my guess. But you know what it is, Soup. Final race of the year. Strategy. I mean, you nailed it. It will play a big part. Who knows? Somebody might think about 2 tires, and maybe that's the way to go.
I'm going to bring in our third man in the booth again one more time. We talked a lot about J.R. Shepard and Robinson, who are at the top of the points. But Hubble, the AI, has predicted they like they like Ogle to be one of the favorites here tonight, right, Alan?
Yeah, it's got JR as the top dog pick, which is for obvious reasons. I think he's made his mark in short track racing quite significantly. I believe Tom Ogle was picked second, so that should be interesting. I'm not sure Josh has really run this track that much, but he's a good driver and he can figure things out quickly. So we'll see what happens there.
One of the things I love about this series is the special paint schemes they use, throwback to how they used to do it. Just pretty colors out there. Let's go ahead and talk about the front row right now. I'll give my partner the row after that. It's Double Deuce Bruce Pearson. He'll be out there in car number 15, and he's going to be flanked by one of the favorites. Now, they think that Jeff Aho, he could be somebody to watch.
Canadian Goose John Wilson lines up on the inside of row 2. To the outside, Brian Bianchi.
Down in the next row, you got representing the Bootleg Racing League, you got Todd Liston. And then here's the guy that Hubble likes to finish up front. Well, close to up front. It comes after Shepard, finishing in second position, we think. Watch out for Thomas Gogo Ogle.
Christian Lushin lines up on the inside of row 4. To the top shelf, Jeffrey Souza.
Now, this row's important. You got Sean Fultz back here. Then on the outside, Danger Josh Robinson. And then behind him, your points leader, starting in 11th, all by himself. On the inside is J.R. Shepard. I almost wonder maybe J.R. might not prefer to be back there. He can pick the lane. Shepard is in that, his familiar always races in a dark navy blue machine, and that's what he's got right now. And Josh Danger Robinson in that cherry red machine out there. Glad
it's
you
the
were
worst night to be in red suit because it's going to be easy for JR to see him anywhere he is in the field.
Going to be easy to find. All right, the pace car comes in. We got 100 laps on tap. We wait. You know what to do. Gather up the chickens, get covered behind the house because the horses are out of the barn. The chocolate machine on the inside is Bruce Pearson, but he's getting powered around by Jeff Aho.
Yeah, not only Aho, but Bianchi thought about it too. Maybe kiss the wall coming out of 2, lost momentum. Only going to be able to move himself up to 3rd, but big move there for Uh-oh.
My partner said this is the races to watch. Battle now for 2nd.
Oh, Bianchi went up there. Yeah, he shut the door, man. I think he's kissed the wall twice in 2 laps. Bianchi, he is letting it all hang out here early, Sue.
Well, yeah, these tires are rough right now. And I guess when things are tough, that's when Bianchi wants to get going. So he moves into 2nd. Pearson now in the chocolate flavor machine, taking that low line through the corners, getting way under the apron.
Oh, Tom Ogle on the inside. He gets loose coming off at 2. He goes around. We're not going to get a caution flag. Not parked down there in the grass, Soup.
Boy, and he hits the inside wall hard. He's going to have to take a tow, and just that's going to be hard to come back from. I guess he can take solace.
We got another one around. Pearson just went around, or Lushin made both of them. Lushin and Pearson.
Oh, my goodness. You called it, partner. You said it was going to be rough early on, and do we stay under green for both of those? They spin off? I think the caution finally comes out.
Yeah, but the worst thing about that is Soup Tom had already towed his car. If you would have just waited another 10 seconds, he'd get that lucky dog. He'd be back on the lead lap. That's a tough break for Tom.
Well, let's drill down a little bit. Let's bring in our rules expert
JR's coming down
here.
pit road. Look at that. Why this early? People coming down pit road?
Boy, I don't. Maybe just to top off, they were in the back. Just get a little bit of extra fuel. So, I guess when they come in for fuel next time, they have to take 3 laps less of petrol.
I love the giveaway on people who use the pit limiter there. JR's the only one using the pit limiter with the headlights flashing like that.
Okay, Alan, let's bring you in for a little rule clarification. This is simulating the 1985 IROC series. I'm going to guess no lucky dog.
No, there's no lucky dogs, no wave arounds. I mean, those were.
Oh, right.
One of them was early 2000s. One of them was like 2009. So there's no such thing as as that in 1985. So nope.
Beautiful.
I do have to admit, though, growing up Mark Martin fan, Alan, this was the best series to watch. Mark Martin always was running towards the front of the IROCs when I was a kid. He could run here. This and the Xfinity, you know, watching Cups, it was tough watching him come home second all those times, but it was fun to watch him run in the IROCs.
I believe Mark Martin owns the record for. I think he has the most crowns in IROC. Could be wrong on that, but I think I got that one. To really get full immersion of this, I am drinking. Now, of course, we don't recommend that you drink while broadcasting with us. It's a special occasion. I got out my Zima to really get into the spirit of this. Shaggy has no idea what a Zima is.
I truthfully don't. I was just trying to pick my brain, if you want the truth.
Some kind of clear liquid, if I recall, in a bottle.
It didn't last long, but it was popular for a while back in the 80s. Got that we're going to be going green this time. And broke out to get the really get into it. I got myself a Radio Shack monitor out there as well. All right. Single file restart is 1985. Let me take a guess. Is that like a mint green color there for Aho? That's what I'm going with right now. It looks like a green machine. Aho out in front. The royal blue machine of Bianchi behind him.
I'm going to call it cream. I mean, I don't know what you guys are seeing. Okay, yeah, I'm going to call it cream.
I remember checking this because of my bad rods and cones. I did study it early on. It was officially called cream color. Well done.
Oh, man, John Wilson, he got a big run there. Yeah, right as Ryan switches. He wasn't able to take the peak, but he figured out something there through the middle of 1 and 2. He was really quick. And now that could be good, Soup, you know, being quick in the center of the corner. Or he could be maybe working that right front a little too hard. You know, Bianchi already up to P2. We know he's capable of winning here. I mean, he's one of the best. So you got to imagine he's just kind of letting those tires age a little bit.
I know that we are in Connecticut, but something is fishy in Denmark. And we put the camera on car number 1, the cherry red machine of Danger Josh Robinson. He is just back there. He is lollygagging.
You know, Ryan took the words right out of my mouth, so I'll give him credit because he did say it first. I didn't want to speak over Soup. But I got to imagine that's what's going on here, Soup. He's probably never really full throttle. I wish we could get a throttle indicator, but we can't. I bet you he's trying to milk fuel just to kind of go the rest of the way because, I mean, imagine if he can fuel save and JR has to come down pit road. That might be the championship.
Well, that's very interesting. And that's why God invented bonus points, where you get points for leading laps to kind of discourage that kind of thinking. J.R. Shepard in 8th. Danger Robinson in 10th. Jeff Aho.
You know as well as I do, Soup. JR's looking at that relative. He knows that Josh is doing something a little funky, so he's either got to go quicker as we got a car in the grass. Couldn't tell who it was. There you saw him roll. That's Bianchi. Able to keep it straight. No yellow flag as you see Shepard roll on by. Bianchi going to pull back up. Oh, he gets loose one more time down to the inside. No caution flag, though, still.
Well, we watched him bounce it off the wall at least twice already. He did it again, and that put him down to the inside. You know, finally, when he tried to recover that thing, he finally noses it in. I don't know if we're still on him. Stay on it a bit longer because we're not done. Bonk.
Yeah, and you got to think that's going to be all she wrote there for Brian Bianchi is I can see he did disconnect, so he's going to call it a night.
Well, we started with 11. We've made ourselves into single digits that are still racing. You know, I've watched Brian Bianchi race many, many a mile. I've never seen him look that, I don't want to use this word, but for lack of a better word, I'm going to use it, amateurish than he did there. He was not feeling it today, Shaggy. He had put it in the wall a handful of times.
Yeah, you know, I mean, kind of being out of points contention, I would imagine, hey, checkers or wreckers, you know, I'm going to go for it. I imagine he got away with that first slap of the wall, maybe even the second. But when you combine them, I'm sure the right front was a little towed out. And, man, if you're driving here with a towed out right front, you're going to wear the heck out of that right front. It's going to make it miserable.
Yeah, and it's not uncharacteristic to have 9 cars in this series, because for those who watch the old IROC series, they only ever gridded up 12 cars. So
Yep.
sometimes sometimes cars would get in a wreck, and then it'd be 6 or 5 or 7.
Especially in the early days when the first season they started off with Porsches, and try as they might, well, those Porsches were not the most reliable of cars. They would have issues. Good battle going back here. This is Sousa under attack from Lotion.
Yeah, now he drives off here and almost gets into the back of JR, maybe focused on that rear view mirror a little bit, but Ryan can correct me if I'm wrong here, but this would be a big mess up. But it is good to see Christian back on the racetrack. I want to say a little over a week ago, he lost his little brother, and I know that family, that's got to be a traumatic experience, and it is really good to see Christian back out here racing with his iRacing family. You know, I mean, we may fight each other on the track, Soup, but you know how it goes, man. We all love each other, and at the end of the day, we all have each other's back. So it is awesome seeing Lushan back out here on the racetrack.
Shepard making a little move to the inside of the chocolate machine of Bruce Pearson. Thinks better of it. We're at lap 24. Still got a long ways to go. This is the best battle on the track. It should not be long till, well, short track Voldemort gets this done here. Look at Pearson. JR used to... Go ahead.
No, yeah, but I was going to say, JR, I mean, you mentioned Shorty's Voldemort out here on the short track. He's going to get you. And I think Josh Robinson, so he's back there a little bit. Don't click away, Ryan. But he is reeling these guys back in. I think maybe he realized, hey, I may not be able to make it on fuel, and JR's starting to go. So there's a little less save out of that cherry red machine, and I think he knows he maybe go time here. Oh, JR got a shot there. Oh, that was not an easy save, I'm telling you, Soup. Man, it looked easy, but JR, he's cursing inside that visor right now. I guarantee it.
Sousa trying to march his way through the field, but he had J.R. Shepard in front of him. Gave him a little bit of a hello. Shepard clearly faster than Pearson. Pearson takes that very low line, guarding the inside. Look at the drive off of 2. Again, watch the... Pearson leaves the inside open through 3 and 4. Let's watch and see if he goes low again through 1 and 2. Different lines for the different sides of the track. Head down in there. Nope, he's going to be way up top this time.
Yeah, I mean, you need that drive through the center of the corner, kind of rotate down, especially off of 2. It kind of flattens out, and that just shows the experience of Bruce. I mean, he knows, you know, you want the bottom, go ahead, take it. I mean, JR, he was talking to me and Ryan, you know, he said, I don't want to have to lean on anybody today. You know, that's not the way I like to do things, but this is a track that encourages it a little bit. There, you see, he gives him the warning bump. He says, now maybe, you know, I'm going to have to lean on you if you don't get out of the way, but he is trying to play nice.
Well, what I think he's trying to say is, I really don't want to do this, but I have a maniac behind me. And in fact, Sousa got into him, lost momentum that time, and that's going to allow Lotion to try to get underneath him. Now, the inside line just isn't working for Lucian. He can't get that done, and that's going to mean that Sousa gets a good run up top. Now JR peeking down underneath. He's got a little bit of breathing space now without Sousa right behind him. He can experiment a little bit. He's got a nose underneath Pearson. Boy, these guys know each other very well. Look at the drive, though, from the top side, Shaggy.
Yeah, but JR did the perfect thing and rode it up the hill through the center of the corner and kind of made Bruce double take on that wheel, let it catch itself. He didn't want to turn down into JR, and that's exactly what you got to do. If that guy's going to race yard, going to enter high, well, I'll make you uncomfortable in the center of the corner. And really, you know, at the end of the day, it's a risk versus reward situation. I mean, JR thought it was worth the risk, but that could have been bad for those two. But Bruce chose to race another day here. And I told you, Soup. I told you he was coming. It was he realized he wasn't going to make it. There is that cherry red machine.
Coming up on the back of Sousa. Small field. Not a whole lot of cars for Robinson to need to get through to get up to the guys up front.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing, guys, is the rear brakes of JR are really lighting up. So he's really working those brakes a little bit harder than maybe some of the guys in line behind him, because I can really see those things glowing.
Yeah, now, well, you know the deal with that, Alan. Sometimes, you know, I mean, you almost want to treat these short tracks like I'm obviously not a road course, but with the way you want to trail brake, kind of drag that brake up until you're in the center of the corner. And I mean, you've talked about it, you've witnessed it. I mean, we've witnessed it for years. JR, it does not get much better than that trail braking show he puts on. I mean, just smooth as silk everywhere on that racetrack. But here we go. Look at Liston. Oh, he thought about the move. I think he slipped up a little bit. Couldn't get under Wilson. But I think Liston here, Soup, he's feeling the pressure because Wilson at one point was half a second off your leader, but you can see no leader in that screen. They're about a second, almost 2 full seconds back here. So Liston got to go, and he does.
The Canadian Goose, John Wilson, just lets them go by. Liston gets through, bring Fultz with them. They're going to try to run down if they can. The man has had it his own way, Jeff Aho. So we have a battle for second. And the other thing we have to watch, I am surprised, Shaggy. After Shepard got underneath Pearson, I thought he was going to run away with it, but Bruce hanging with him.
Yeah, and, you got to wonder, is that, JR just trying to show some discipline here? I don't want to maybe go too hard. I can see how far they are ahead, but it's a long way to go. Because I can see that last time by, I mean, he made up a 1/10 of a second on Aho, which if I do the math here, if he does that 48 more times, Soup, he will catch up. So maybe he's just pacing himself. I mean, we got a long, long way to go.
Let's ride on board with Danger Robinson if we could. See what he's looking at a bunch of cars in front of him right now, and he thinks he can get them all.
Yeah, really, Alan should charge him for that seat. That is the best seat in the house.
Boy, that's really good. Look at that racing up in front. Now side by side, that is Lotion trying to get underneath Pearson in the chocolate-flavored machine. Shepard beginning to pull away. We continue to ride on board with Danger Robinson. Now we look out from behind. Robinson trying to go through the field like a man searching his pocket for a nickel to buy a sweetheart a sarsaparilla. So far, no luck.
Yeah, if you're Sousa or Lush, and they both feel so helpless. So at the end of the day, they got to work together here and say, hey, I'm not going to make a move on you. Let's get that guy in front. We'll work together because, I mean, you see the guy, he wants to enter high, but now he's got a car peeking under him, and then you got to get defensive. So it's really tough to try to make that move. I mean, it's a lot of give and take here. I mean, Soup, we still have over 100 laps to go.
100 laps and possibly a green flag pit stop. Oh, mercy.
Ooh, Lushan gets up in the marbles there. Is he going to lose the spot? He gets a big run off of 4. Now here's going to be the move. Does Sousa, make him feel uncomfortable there like JR did? He did not. He's going to give him that corner exit, and they're going to continue to fight.
Alan, you know all these guys. Do you think any of them actually thought about practicing a green flag pit stop? What do you think?
I think some of them did. I'm pretty sure Josh probably did. I would think JR probably did. But, I took 50 laps in this car just by myself earlier just to get a feel for it. It's a tight setup. These cars aren't meant for short tracks. But, man, you can really drive it almost to the line before you brake because these things have anti-lock brakes on them. So it's a lot different than pitting with a late model or something like that.
Robinson finally gets that pass made. Now, look, I want you to hold your guns for next season. Hopefully this comes back. Let me tell you, I've been around drivers enough. They never liked the car choice. But from a commentator's point of view, from a fan's perspective, I think the Cadillac and Lotion gets a little bit loose. Robinson continue to work on them. I think this car has really put on a good show.
Yeah, I think so. I think it has. I don't know, Shaggy. What do you think?
Hey, dude, 1,000%. And I think, Alan, what you were kind of going for, I could be wrong, but obviously the IROC car, nobody's driving those. That's kind of a curveball. There is no chance anybody in this room is running weekly Cadillac official races. I mean, everybody getting the curveball here, and we saw how well it did even at the drafting tracks. I mean, this car is impressive.
And it was great. Well, it's built for a road course, but I mean, if you're going to bring a road course car over and make it do this, I love the choice. And they look good out there. They just look so good in those colors.
Yeah, they did look good in the colors. And if you go back to '85, a little bit of history, Roger Penske, his mandate to the marketing folks was, I want to see Easter egg colors out on the track. And so that's what you have. That's what the vision was, is Easter egg car colors.
Were they running the Dodges in '85? What were they running back then? Do you know?
I think they were running the Camaros, but I'm not positive.
Yeah.
I believe the Camaros, yeah.
It's a neat little ticket there. I didn't know that with the Easter egg colors, but it makes sense. And I mean, I told you, it drew me in as a kid, so I think they nailed it there. I mean, it was always neat. And who didn't want to see Dale Earnhardt and Steve Kinzer out there on the racetrack at the same time? I mean, that's unbelievable. I got both my heroes in both forms of racing out there on the racetrack. I mean, I wish it would come back.
Emerson Fittipaldi going nose to nose with Richard Petty. That's just beautiful.
Yeah, they even had John Watson, the F1 driver, the Irish driver, John Watson driving one year. It's like, wow.
I got to stay in my lane, but this is where I like to call my shot. Can we get an overhead shot so we can show the spread of these cars around here, Director? We got ourselves we don't have a blimp. Oh, you know what? The IROC guys just wouldn't spend the money for a blimp. All right, give me a stationary shot then, and we'll just sit and we'll watch and go by, and we can see the gap. Find me we have a spot on. There we go. So you can see, here we go. Now we got a little bit of a break. Stay with it here. They're coming.
Yeah, and you'll see when they come around this next time, John Wilson, he'll be that third car, Soup. Sean Foltz, he basically pulled over and let him by, and now you can see that big gap to that egg blue car. Not too sure Sean, just trying to ride a little bit.
That's a good shot.
I've been watching John Wilson, Shaggy, and I think he's just saving his stuff, man. He's good at that. He knows how to do that, and I think he's just kind of taking it easy right now.
That's easy for us to say, but look who's creeping up in that mirror, though, Alan. That dark blue car, JR. I mean, the shark smells blood here. He's getting close to those guys.
It's coming little by little.
There's Robinson. Look at him. He makes the move there. Good catch, Ryan. And, I mean, he knows he's 5 points behind that guy who's making a move right now. He has got to go.
So here's, as you see, look at this battle. Shepard, I'll do a little bit of hokey-doke, a little up and under there for Foltz. Didn't work. So 5 points gap between Shepard and Robinson. But if Robinson can lead more laps, he picks up 2 there. If he can finish in front of Shepard at least 1 position, he gets 2 more there. So he just needs one. He needs a little bit of a cushion between him and Shepard, and then to beat him in the laps.
Yeah, and let's be honest here, Soup. I mean, good for Jeff right now. He's out front, stinking up the show, but he's led all 59 laps. So that makes it real easy to be that guy number 2 in laps led tonight if you can just time a pit stop. So I talked earlier with you, I think privately, I don't know if I said it over, about short pitting. Maybe if you're Josh Robinson, you got to go long if those guys in front of you come down pit road to try to nab those laps led.
But what's interesting, Shepard had pulled away from Robinson. We saw Robinson back there just basically just taking it really, really easy. Well, now he's got him. And I got to wonder if maybe Robinson has better tires now that he didn't have to use them up so much.
Well, if you're Josh, it's time to go find out. You've got nothing to lose. I mean, you're not going to go up there and wreck JR. He is not that kind of guy, but dang it, we're racing for a championship. You put that guy in an uncomfortable spot if your car is handling it. You make JR make the call. You go up there and you take that spot, and that's how Josh has to play right.
And I guarantee you, Shepard and Robinson have both studied the points. They know how they work. But you made a really good point with Aho dominating this race. If he can get to the halfway mark, which is just, another 12 laps away, he will have clinched the most laps led. So there's 5 bonus points that will not go to Shepard or Robinson. And then it's 3 and 2, so the gap is a little bit different there. It's actually in Shepard's best interest if Robinson could go ahead and, if Aho can go ahead and clinch those bonus points.
And before, I know we're mesmerized with this battle here too. They're going to try to catch those front two. And speaking of front two, Soup, Liston's got that gap now down to within half a second. He's right there. That was almost 2 seconds about 19 laps ago. So Liston on the move here.
Well, there's nothing that'll get you going quicker than to see the name Shepard right below yours on the timing and scoring. So Liston's got to get going. Closing in on Aho.
I think back to Robinson for a minute. If I'm Josh, I want to get around JR, because if JR just gets up there and leads one lap, he's getting, he's got to lead.
Point.
Yeah, he's getting a couple points. So I don't want JR leading any laps. So if I'm Josh, you got to get around him.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's why I said, your championship racing, go make the move. And if JR's got a lift, to not wreck here, that's what JR has to do to win the championship. But if you're Josh right now, you got absolutely nothing to lose. I mean, even if you pass him right now and they finish third and fourth, you're not going to bring home the championship. You got to make something happen.
He is definitely trying to make something happen. The dark blue machine of J.R. Shepard. That candy apple red car of Robinson behind him. 1 and 2 in the points. Racing third and fourth right now on the track.
I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, Alan, but have we decided what said, possible trophy or championship is? What it is for this one?
Oh, tell him about it.
Yeah, it's a bottle of whiskey from Garage Oil Spirits. I won't say the full name because Lowell might kick me out of the broadcast, but it's a good old Texas bottle of whiskey to the champion.
Now that you say that sparks my memory. I did see that in the Discord. You're right. And I'll tell you, if I was Josh, I would be willing to do a lot for that. That's one of the coolest prizes. Now, I'm not trying to kiss your butt here, but it's second coolest to the old red boot. I
the old red boot is
see
good.
Who gets that. But, man, that is a heck of a prize.
Shaggy, I'm going to ask you a question. Let's assume you win that trophy. You get the bottle of whiskey. Does it go up in the trophy? We have a battle for the lead right now. Does it go up on the trophy case, or does it get opened?
I think you got to try it, and then it goes up in the case. But
Okay.
here, listen, he's making the move here. That cream machine gives him plenty of room. But this is where you see you need that drive off it too. So if he wants the lead, he's going to have to channel his inner JR here, get the elbows out.
We got ourselves a party of 4. Boy, I'd love to talk to Aho right now. Was he racing too fast? Was he giving it all he's got? These guys ran him down. Is he saving? Did he think he's using it up and realize that he needed some at the end? But they ran him down.
He's going to tell himself for confidence reasons that he's saving his stuff here. But I can tell you, when you're sitting inside that car and you felt comfortable, you had a 2-second lead, almost 4-second lead over those guys behind you. No matter how they caught you, whether you're saving or not, it's playing a toll on you here mentally. You see all those lights in your mirror, and that's something, we didn't even really talk about, Soup. With it being a night race and these things having headlights, that is a distraction. I'm telling you, and when you see that mirror start to light up, man, it's playing mind games with you.
Well, go ahead, Alan.
I was going to say that's a great point, Shaggy. And even in the in the warm-up session, I came on the radio and told the guys, I said, listen, it's a night race. These cars have lights, so if you need to adjust your mirrors to make sure that somebody's not, blinding you, then do it. So, but that's a great point.
Look at this racing going on.
Yes, and now you see that outside line paying off for JR, and I'm surprised, Alan, we haven't seen anybody utilize the flashlight, to flash the lights at people, maybe to show aggression, or maybe they have, and I've just missed it. But that may be a little tool you keep in your pocket for later.
Yeah, it could be, maybe.
Liston tried to make a move on the inside of Aho. It did not go well. He lost momentum. That gave the opportunity for Shepard and Robinson to work the outside. They go around, so now they race second and third. Liston has fallen back into fourth. In the meantime, Aho has got to the halfway point, leading all the laps. He has clinched the 5 points for most laps led. So now The next bonus point that would involve Shepard and Robinson would be who can lead the next amount of laps, and that one is worth 3.
Yeah, and this is to the point where Alan and I were talking about earlier, man. If you're Josh, you got to make this pass now because you guys are the 2 quickest cars on the racetrack, and as soon as he gets that nose in front of Aho at the line, he's locking himself up some bonus points here. So Josh has to make sure it's him.
Alan, in the rules package, if there were only 2 drivers to have led laps, that means that third bonus point would not be distributed, correct?
No, the way that works is they split them. That actually happened in a race, I believe, at Daytona, I believe, and so they split the points there.
Interesting.
So that would mean even more if Josh could get there right now and make it only him and Aho leading the rest of the way. He'd get an extra point off of that.
Yeah, so to clarify that, Soup, if, let's say, obviously Aho's led the most laps, but let's say Josh and JR both lead the same amount of laps and they're second, then they would both get 3 points.
My question is, what happens if Robinson gets around Shepard, then gets to the front, and we only have 2 cars who have ever led a lap? Would that extra bonus point go to anybody, or is that just thrown away?
No, that's thrown away. If you only have 2 cars, nobody gets a point.
Got it. So really, Robinson needs to get around Shepard for a couple reasons. A, he's got to outpoint him, but he also cannot afford Shepard to lead any laps. So Robinson really got to get this done. Oh, maybe a blown tire for Lotion? He's got himself a meatball flag. We got pitters. We got Foltz coming in. Lotion coming in.
Yep, Lush, and I noticed on Foltz's car, the right front, as he pulled in, it was glowing a little bit, so he had right front brake, but see that 14? No, so I would assume Ryan hit the nail on the head there. We probably had a flat right front tire.
Shepard with a good drive off of Ford. This is where the battle is. You know, after Liston let those guys go by, he's saying right there, Aho clearly off the pace right now. Robinson gets a little bit high. Now a little bit of a gap between Shepard and Robinson. Let's see if maybe Shepard can do a little exploring. Try something a little bit unusual to get that pass made. Shepard's got 2 things on his mind. Get around Aho and keep Robinson behind me.
Yeah, I think that number 2, a little more important, though. I think that's why we're seeing him really not to throw Liston under the bus there, but make that mistake of getting caught down low, a lap and a half in a row. He needs to be smart about this thing. He can't let Josh around him because I'm telling you, if me and Alan, now this is not a shot at you, Alan, but, I don't think we're as bright there as JR. If you and I thought of that scenario, JR's thought about it 14 times already. So he ain't going to let JR get around him. Or Josh Robinson get around him, sorry.
But how about this? Let's go back when Robinson was way off the pace. Did he save enough fuel maybe that he can go a lap farther than Shepard and get that lap led that way? Then you have that race out of the pit lane to see if I love this. This is so exciting. And look at Liston right in there, hanging in there.
I think that's a winner for you there, Sue, because especially if Josh is able to have saved a little more tire than these guys, I don't expect him, like I said, to get any tires here. So I would imagine Josh can go out here with a clean racetrack, maybe run a little faster lap than JR right now, and that's what F1 call the overcut, maybe stay out there a little longer, and it'll pay off for him, I think.
And will Aho have to be the first car to pit? You got to think the way that Shepard came through the field, if fuel matters. And there's our first stop, and that's going to give a leader lap for Shepard as the leader comes in.
I got to ask you, Alan, I did do a little bit of testing, but now this isn't a shot there at the leader. But he did pull off a little early, right? You don't have to dive off and slow down that early. He may have cost himself some time, if I believe.
Yeah, he could have waited a little bit longer. It'll be interesting to see when the pit stops shake out where Aho is. I thought he was running a good line for this track. He's obviously familiar with this track, but maybe he thought his tires were getting kind of cooked and he needed to come in.
That's all right. He's going to go 1, probably 2 laps down. But everyone else still has to make that stop. And I think, boys, it's a safe assumption We're going green the rest of the way. I would be surprised if we get a yellow, figuring that we went through all of Daytona without a caution
Yeah,
flag.
but remember those first 5 laps on the cold tires that JR told us about? Oh, needs to make sure he doesn't overdrive here because, you're going to feel like Superman Soup. He's going to go quicker, and he's got to not spin this thing out there. He just did get a little loose.
Well, let's look at Aho right now. Aho in a battle. We just want to see if he can make this thing work. The new tires pay off, and he gets around Sousa. Now, we have other pitters going on. Shepard and Robinson stay out.
Yeah, notice Foltz there. He's not getting it jacked up or whatever car that was sitting on pit road. Aho, his car did get lifted. So the way these work, Soup, I'm so used to NASCAR. They lift the whole car up. So he would have taken 4 tires. That was a rookie mistake on my part. So Aho definitely has 4 fresh tires. It'll be interesting to see if the other guys take fuel only.
Foltz is off the pace. I think we got some issues going on. So, Aho does not go 2 laps down. He is 1 lap down and about 3/4 of a lap. So about 1 3/4 laps. In fact, maybe we can ride on the back. Oh, we have a car off in the grass. It's Aho. Is it Aho? No, it's Wilson.
Nope, and no lucky dog. So Aho thought he was making the right move, Soup, but he's going to be trapped a lap down now. We've only got 5 cars on the lead lap.
Indeed. Wilson spins it off on a self-spin.
Yep, and he had just come in on lap 92, so that was a case of those cold tires. I mean, you get so comfortable. You're driving around there, you feel snug, and man, Josh Robinson and Shepard made the right call here. It'll be an interesting race off pit road.
So now we have a true race off pit road. Shepard, Robinson, and Liston. They come down. The pit stall will be important. Liston's will be farther down pit lane than the rest of these guys. Liston finds his spot. They're both in. They both wait. Nothing more boring than to watch an iRacing pit stop, but in this case, we're going to do it. Robinson's rolling first. He's out. Less fuel? Boy, that seems like a lot of less fuel.
Yeah, that's so. Man, I'm thrown in a loop because it was his pit stop was 10 seconds faster, but yet they did lift up the car. So I don't know. Maybe when you lift up the car, it's the same guys changing both sides. I'm really unfamiliar with that. Shame on me, but I would think they'd be changing all 4 at the same time. But I don't know. Something happened. Big move by Josh.
Can we talk? Are we able to get into the head? Do we have enough time? Let's see if we dial up Josh Robinson and ask him what's up. Josh, it's Soup up in the booth. We'll do this real quick. Fast pit stop. We don't understand. 2 tires? Is that the reason? No tires? What happened?
Yeah, we're going to try something new here. Not a clue if it'll work.
What was it 2? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I took 2 tires.
All right. Keep that guy behind you. Good luck.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
There you go.
Yeah, so they must lift the whole thing up, but maybe they got to save on pit crew guys. Got to get.
Yeah, just because it goes up doesn't mean they can do it all at once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Alan, Robinson was having a hard time getting around Shepard on an even playing field. Maybe you got to make the pass the way you can make the pass, and I understand what he's doing.
Yeah, I think that was good strategy. Roll the dice, see what happens. Take 2 tires. Pretty sure JR got 4. We'll see what happens. That was an interesting call.
Well, 47 laps to go. Robinson gets a good jump. We got guys in the wall.
Yeah, I don't know if 2 tires was the right call. He drove in there and that thing pushed like a dump truck. It looked like he got caught in the marbles and he rode the wall for quite some time. That's got to have some damage on it.
Wonder if the tires, just the cold tires and of course the tires that he had on the worn tires cooling off, so Robinson loses position. Well, I think the big picture might be pretty much painted, but we still got some good racing, and we still got a man who can drive a car, Todd Liston, after J.R. Shepard.
And if you're listening, you got nothing to lose here. You know that man in front's probably going to win the championship here. Go take it from him. Go take the win at least. You know, put him in a place where he's got to kind of give up. Now that's, we both know I'm speaking out of hope there. Liston is not going to do that soon, but a man can pray.
Aho taking another pit stop coming out.
Hey, going back to Josh just for a second.
Look at these tires. You talked about he spun it coming out of pit lane on those cold tires, unless the car is damaged that we don't know about. But, oh my goodness.
Yeah, you know, JR not even in the booth, but his knowledge still was correct tonight. I mean, he told me those first 5 laps, Ryan can vouch. You know, he said it was going to be rough. And, I mean, to see both sets of cautions, as Alan said, we had no cautions all season, and then both times we see guys out there on new tires, just easy mistakes to make, and in a car that we said, I mean, pretty much been perfect for these guys. It's a challenge, and it's been super unique.
Yeah, that was a tough call for Josh, the 2 tires, because, you know, if you take 2 tires in a Cup car, an Xfinity car, a Tour modified car, you kind of know what you're going to get. But if you take 2 cars in a Cadillac on a short track, I mean, that's no man's land. That's really rolling the dice, man.
And that's a call he doesn't make round 1, even 2 or 3. That's a call you make round 4 when you're trying to find a way to win a championship and try something different.
Yeah, and that's where Alan hit the nail on the head. I mean, that's something we've seen Josh and Sean Foltz as well do to win races over there in the NASCAR car on Sunday nights. And he probably just back against the wall, like you said, Soup. This is my chance. I'm going to get up front. Let's go win the championship. And sadly, just didn't work out.
And let's go ahead and put the camera on Sean Foltz right now. I like to give this guy, I like to call it the Dory Award. If you've ever watched Finding Nemo and Dory's out there and her cheer slogan is just keep swimming, just keep swimming. That's what Sean Foltz is doing right now. He's 12 laps down. Bless his heart. Still out there. Just keep swimming, baby. Shepard was on his way to win the first round at Daytona till he had fuel issues. That cost him big time. If memory serves, and Alan will correct me if I get this one wrong, he did go on to win the road course. And then did he get a second win as well in round 3? Did he as he has 2 victories so far?
Tom Ogle actually won round 3 in Atlanta. But yeah, JR dominated the road race in Mid-Ohio. He was unbelievable at that track.
Yeah, we had quite the duel, if my memory refreshes. As you said, Tom Ogle won that thing between JR and who brought home P2? I know it was Tom and a teammate, so it may have been Foltz.
It was Josh in second, and JR, I believe, got third in that race.
Josh, okay. Yep.
But JR led a ton of laps, so I think even though Josh finished a second place ahead of him, I think JR still picked up a point on him because JR led the second most laps in the event.
Yeah, outpointed him.
Oh, there you see the battle for second. Look at that, even with 2 tires, able to get around Liston. Yeah, maybe now that everybody's tires kind of equaled out in temp here, maybe he can try to make a comeback, but I think JR sensed it. He opened up that lead a little bit.
Well, he can see him. Just watch it. There's the bottom of your screen right there. Oh, look at our director. Pans down there. Boy, he gets right in the mind of those cameramen, and they follow him. Right under the wing, that cherry red machine of Robinson.
Yeah, Josh is so good with car adjustments, too. I mean, you know, he caught him off guard a little bit, the cold tires maybe, but once he gets the car under him, he can adapt to almost any circumstance and different types of cars.
Look at this battle back here. This is John Wilson. It's a battle for 6th. The licorice flavored machine of Lucian gets under him.
Yeah, Lushin and Volts actually on the same lap, believe it or not. Minus 12 may be the place to be. So if Sean Foltz can get to the back of Lushin there, that will be for position, believe it or not.
Oh, that's funny. When I looked at my timing and scoring, Wilson was in 6th and Lucian was in 7th. I just figured that was a battle for position, but they were several laps down. But then my partner finds out Foltz is behind him. So those guys are still back there racing, having fun.
Yeah, and I guarantee you these guys, will joke around, have a couple jabs with each other. They're buddies out there on the racetrack. And, I mean, yeah, maybe for 6th place or 7th place, but they're going to battle for it. I would guarantee it.
Okay, all you little soldiers in Soup's clipboard army, get out your tools there and mark down lap 24. 124, 25 to go. The gap, 1.6 seconds between Shepard and Robinson. If Robinson has anything to hunt him down, well, the trumpet is blowing now.
Yeah, JR always says 1.5 seconds. That's where he likes to maintain it. So we'll see if that stays true or if he'll try to open it up a little more. I assume he'll pull away this lap. As Robinson, yeah, he overdrove turn 1 really bad, but still, JR not trying to really open up too much.
And we here at VGN are really blessed. Not only do we get to call JR on occasion, he doesn't race as often as he used to. That's always a pleasure. But I have never seen a driver who was so dominant on the track be able to transfer that excellence into the booth. If you have not heard a broadcast with JR as color man, it's amazing. He is so insightful. Shaggy, he does not say the things that... He says things where you say, oh.
Yeah, it really, I'm that aggressive driver who tries to drive a little too hard. And to hear it from the perspective of a guy who goes out there and collects win after win, I mean, it really means something when you hear it come from JR. And he's not he's kind of one of those open books too, Soup, which is what I like about him. You get in that friend circle with JR, he'll let you know anything you want to know. Now, whether you understand it, that's a totally other thing. But he will try to get you to where you want to be.
Well, I don't know how much he's going to share with Josh Robinson. Maybe. I mean, Josh is certainly good. I think
Josh could use a set of tires right now. Yeah. JR wants to share them.
The gap pretty much holding. This has been a fun series. Been a long series. The race is spread out like every couple months. You can tell that the drivers really appreciate it as they make an effort to show up. Very good attendance.
Yeah, that was the one thing. That was the one thing I was a little worried about. Is there's such a long break in between the races? People are just going to forget about it. And but I was messaging them, giving them little, enough heads up time so that they knew another race was coming up. But if I do this again next year, it's probably going to do 5 races instead of 4 because that break between February and June was just too much.
And there's so much give and take with that lead. It's dropped down to 1.3. Now it's back to 1.4. It just JR, the way he plays games, he's giving Josh a little bit of hope, catches him for a couple laps, and then he says, pull back away here a little bit. I mean, that's so tough when you're Josh out there on 2 tires trying to run down that man up front.
Folks, I'm going to give you a treat. In my opinion, and this Cadillac has been around for a long time, so maybe I'm just prejudiced, but the best sounding car out there is the Cadillac. We're gonna go a couple laps here inside. Let's go inside Josh Robinson so we can keep an eye on Shepard and just listen to this car. Unfortunately, you're not going to get to hear it shift, but give this a listen. Oh, that's good stuff, is it not? Wait till you hear it shift and bang as it shifts gears. Conk, conk. Oh, gotta love it. Makes you feel like you're just going faster. When I went to London and I rode the tube, that's the subway system. One of the things they talk about there that comes over, mind the gap is what they tell you. They don't want you falling into the gap between the where you stand and where the train actually is. Mind the gap. Right now, minding the gap, J.R. Shepherd.
I'm going to answer the man you can't hear. And no, I didn't call it. That is what JR tells me every single Tuesday night. You hear it as well, Ryan. It's really crazy. I mean, I hate to just keep chirping up JR, but I mean, he calls it shot and then he goes out there and does it. That is not easy to do. Just to be that aware of your race car, manage it, just, you know, Soup, to be looking down at that little right panel, your relative bar, and to just maintain it while you're out there hitting your marks, hitting the apex. That is the most difficult thing to do, to not let it affect you. And JR, he's just so comfortable out front.
Well, don't go away yet. We got 9 laps to go, and this is, well, simulated race cars, so anything could happen here. Mistakes could happen.
Yeah, that gap is kind of like a yo-yo. 1-3, 1-5, 1-6. JR's just keeping it right where he wants to keep it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like that time, Josh got him by about half a tenth. That time, JR said, whoops, it was at 1.6. That's a little too much. And, man, it's unbelievable. And I'm telling you, the mind games that is playing on Josh, that is really difficult because he knows, man, this guy's just kind of letting me catch him. I don't have the car for this right now. I tried to do it with 2 tires, and the fact that Josh is still out here hitting his marks trying to slave away, that's a good run for him.
Got a car going slow, the Canadian Goose, Wilson on the inside. We're hoping it doesn't bring out a caution. He finds pit lane. The only way for Shepherd's strategy, or for Robinson's strategy to work, was for him to be out in front. The mistake where he drifted up into the wall and let both Shepherd and Liston go by, that was pretty much the end to that idea working.
Yeah, and honestly, the fact, I know he's not going to look at it like this, but the fact that he got around Liston was kind of a win.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that he did that with only 2 tires.
And it is a little sad to see Robinson trying to run down Shepherd when he basically got one hand tied behind his back here. They're really not on a, well, I guess, let's not say level playing field. Let's go say level racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost out there running a cylinder down, it seems like, and somehow he's still doing a good job of maintaining that gap, not letting it open too much. And, well, you got to give that to him. He never gave up, Soup.
Talk about never giving up. Let's look at this Dory battle. Sean Foltz out in front of Lushan. They still battle for 7th spot.
You know, it should be noted the strategy played there by Wilson. He came down pit road and called it quits with 7 laps to go. Well, he was 8 laps ahead of Foltz and Lushan. So that was a big move there by Wilson.
Somebody doing the math. Well done. Good schools up in Canada. You can figure that out. Well, J.R. Shepherd comes out of corner number 4, crosses the start-finish line, working lap number 50. It's been a 4-race series. It's been a good one. Shepherd won on the road course, looking to pick up his 2nd win, and the first ever YesterYear Racing IROC Championship of 2025 goes to J.R. Shepherd. Coming home in 2nd, and I'm going to go ahead and do the math, finishing 2nd in the points as well, is Danger Josh Robinson. Todd Liston will get 3rd. 5 cars on the lead lap include Jeffrey Souza and Double Deuce Bruce Pearson. John Wilson will get 6th after he called it a night perfectly timed with Foltz and Lucian coming home 7th and 8th. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back, run down the entire order, talk to the top drivers, including our champion, before we put a lock on the gate until next season. Don't go far. You're watching the Virtual Grip Network. Hey, welcome back to the Nutmeg State and the Virtual Grip Network's Live as It Happens coverage of the YesterYear Racing League's IROC series, the first inaugural series. Season 20 is in 2025. The results are in. Let's give them to you right now. He picks up his second win of the season, clinches the championship in the process. We're talking about Short Track Voldemort, the institution known as J.R. Shepherd. Danger Josh Robinson comes home in second, right behind him, and will take second in the points as well. Mr. Consistency, Todd Liston, finishes third, started in fifth. Jeffrey Sousa marched his way all the way up from eighth to finish fourth, with Double Deuce Bruce Pearson's finishing in fifth. I'll take one more and then turn it over to my partner. I'll give it to him. The rest of the cars are all a lap down. Go ahead, take it from Wilson.
All right, the Canadian Goose coming home sixth. Sean Foltz coming home seventh. Christian Lushan coming home eighth. Jeff Aho coming home ninth. That's a tough break for him after leading the most laps. Ryan Bianchi coming home 10th. And Tom Ogle rounds out the field.
Really a tough break to Aho of not his own making. Just took that pit stop and then the yellow came out. He got caught out and his night was over. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and dial up number 4, Todd Liston, who finished third this race. Todd, you have a copy?
4, I got you, Soup.
Hey, well, you're up there racing with the guys. They got around you and you didn't have anything for them.
No, I think we spent about all we had. We tried to be conservative, and it really paid off in that first stint. Had us right in the right position when that perfectly timed caution came out. But yeah, we tried to give it our all and hang with them. But at the end of the day, to hold their pace, I just burned too much tire. So props to JR and Josh for great season. Those guys are real class acts.
Okay. Now, I want you to be honest with this, and I'm going to tell you right now, I expect you to give me a negative answer, but from a commentator's point of view, from a fan's point of view, we love the Cadillac. I bet you probably not from a driver's point of view. How'd you feel about racing this car?
They feel a little clunky on the ovals, but all in all, I enjoyed getting to race something different, and
Good.
I think it puts us all outside of our comfort zone a little bit, so it kind of changed it up a little bit. I enjoyed it.
That's the point Shaggy made when we talked about it, that he was pretty much guaranteed nobody's racing the Cadillac very often on the iRacing platform. So it does kind of put you guys all in the same boat. Well, it was fun to watch a race, man. We'll see you down the road on one of the more traditional series.
Thank you, Soup.
Todd Liston finishing third today. Shaggy, who you got?
I got Josh Robinson, the man who, well, Josh, you said you were just going to kind of, take a chance here. You did that. And boy, it looked like when you went into turn one, man, that thing was just on a sheet of ice. Because you're barely able to really keep it out of the wall from hitting it hard. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I anticipated it being a little bit loose, so I bumped the brake bias up just a hair, and kind of tested it out as much as you can under pace speed, and then we launched. Everything was good. Started getting on the brake. Everything was good with the little trail brake, and then all of a sudden, when I got really into the pedal, that thing, I don't know what it looked like on the broadcast, but it felt like I was about to turn left immediately. So I had to get off the brake a little bit, and then what was the weirdest thing ever is it never got loose again.
Now maybe the one scare you brought him up to temp really quick equaled him out, maybe. But gosh, I want to rewind it a little further back. Obviously, long race, so just rewind here. You guys come down pit road fairly early, okay? And then we kind of saw you drift back. Were you maybe trying to play a fuel game, see if you could save enough fuel to go to the end?
So when we pitted there, I assume there was probably 3 or 4 of us, if I remember correctly, and I know JR was one of them, and we all just kind of we topped off on fuel, because you only needed 21 gallons to finish the race, and so we all got that tidied up. And then when we went green, I didn't know what I was going to do yet. I was prepared to go, but when we launched, there was no opening, and it was just a traffic jam, so I just elected to save my equipment. And I felt like I had a really good car, but it is so tough to pass here. And then I was, the two disappointing things were, when we got up to whomever was leading that race and they ducked down to pit, that was heartbreaker number 1. And then I still felt like I had a really good car, and I didn't want to see the caution.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about you kind of being forced to make a move there. I mean, obviously coulda, woulda, shoulda, but when you're riding around in third place, and you get that big run, I mean, do you maybe in another world try to make that move, make JR feel a little uncomfortable there?
Yeah, I knew I needed to keep pressure, because he runs good, and if I don't put any pressure on him, he can just ride free and save his equipment. So felt like I was doing what I needed to do. It just didn't work out the way I needed it to, but JR drove the crap out of that thing. We were both we didn't have a whole lot of equipment left at the end of that run.
Well, JR, I know you do a lot of racing, or Josh, before I kick you out of here. I know you do a lot of racing with like the OBRL and stuff. You currently winning any points that we're going to be lucky enough to see you back here running some IROC again next season?
On the, I've just, with work being crazy and stuff, I've only been running Wednesday night, which is our 87 schedule, and providing I don't have the worst race ever tomorrow night, things should go into my favor for a championship. But there's a lot of good drivers in that field, so I am not counting my chickens for anything there.
But hey, heck of a run. Good luck tomorrow, man. We want you back here. You're a great asset to have here. You always put on a great show, Josh. You got anybody you want to thank and put on that P2 here before we kick you out of here?
Sure. Congrats to JR again. That was he ran a really good season. Thanks to Alan and Torrance for putting this on, and Torrance for all the help that he added during the summer here. Alan, you guys see the post. Alan put so much effort into this with all the getting AI involved, and then with all the pass race statistics. Those are just interesting to go back and watch. So it's nice to see all the work he does pay off with a good league and a good night of racing. And then I'm here because all the good racecraft that we have over at the OBRL. So thanks to everyone over there. We had in the field tonight for OBRL, we had Bruce Pearson and Sean Foltz, and then Ogle. And then I'm gonna make fun of Ogle because he wadded his stuff up lap 2. What are you doing, Tom? But thanks to everyone for coming out. Thanks to you guys for putting on a good broadcast, and looking forward to what Alan cooks up for Rev 2 of this.
Hey, great year, Josh. Like I say, man, we can't wait to have you back. So lock that thing up tomorrow. Great run tonight, brother.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.
Now, Soup, you get to talk to the man here. Should we make him open the trophy at the VGN Christmas party?
Oh, that's a good idea. JR, you won yourself a bottle of whiskey for this one. So that'll be fun, huh?
I saw that. It's a pretty cool trophy. Never had that given out. So, this is, such a tough season. I mean, it's only 4 races, but spread so far apart. It's hard to keep up with what's going on, and it was a lot of fun. So just big thanks to YesterYear Racing League for allowing us to do this. Everything Alan Wanamaker does. It's a really cool deal. I wasn't excited about the car and the track combo tonight, but it worked out.
It put on a good show. What was your strategy going on? You topped off early on that pit stop, and then you got a lucky break with the caution there that got Aho out of the way, and then you headed your own way from there.
Yeah, a little odd. I mean, I kind of caught on in practice. I thought we were going to have a full tank of fuel, and we didn't. So I knew early on I was having to start in the back, and I was like, if we get an early caution, I'm definitely going to top off. And I did that, and I expected to have more caution, but it went green there. So it really kind of hurt the drivers that were starting up front, because if I'd started up front, I'd done the same thing as them. I would have stayed out on that early caution. So that allowed us to have fuel all the way to the end, and that caution at the end with like 30 or 40 to go came in and got tires, because I felt like I needed something to be able to push. And I was a little bit worried when Josh beat me off pit road. I apparently don't understand enough of the road cars to understand how the tires work. So I took 4 tires thinking it was going to take the same amount of time as 2 tires, and he beat me out. You and me both, brother.
Yeah, we were talking about it too. Seems like the car goes up on all 4s. They should be able to change them all, but I guess not. JR, congratulations, man. It was a pleasure. We're going to get you out on this one. When the trophy comes, when it goes on the shelf in the trophy case, does it remain unopened, or does it get sipped, or is it, or do you drink it and then throw the bottle away? What's the philosophy when the trophy is a bottle of booze?
It's still undecided, but this one's kind of special, so it may remain unopened on the shelf. I think it'll be cool to look at.
I like that one too. That's very good. Hey, JR, it was a pleasure. Just personally for me, I don't like to make it about myself, but I've seen you win so much. Honestly, you and I would have had an issue if you weren't able to bring this one home, because I would have been a little disappointed after. You got to give a little bit of win one for the Bootleg Racing League. So congratulations, man. We'll see you down the road.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys. Everything you do up at VGN. Appreciate it.
J.R. Shepard, thanking everybody at VGN. He's one of them. If you haven't heard him do color commentary, you want to tune into one of those broadcasts. He's great. This has been a production of the Virtual Grip Network. When are we going to do this again? You see right there, there's YesterYear Racing, where past meets present. Well, right now, let's talk about the future. Those 4 races right there are all coming up. Pick one that you like. Let's look like a good track. I like Phoenix. That's always exciting. That's Sunday. Shaggy's going to be doing that one. Oh, that's the one. If I had my choice, that's the one. Well, I'd watch them all, but if I was going to watch one, that's the one I would definitely watch. With that said, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. If we didn't, we'll try to do better next time. Until then, have fun storming the castle.